Real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports a Facebook feature that allows users to view their profile the way others would see it allowed hackers potential access to millions of accounts, according to the company on Friday. Guy Rosen, Facebook Vice President of Product Management, says the social network discovered the bug on Tuesday and that it affected as many as 50 million users. Rosen said in a Facebook blog post on Friday, it's clear that attackers exploited a vulnerability in Facebook's code that impacted View As, a feature that lets people see what their own profile looks like to someone else. This allowed them to steal Facebook Access tokens, which they could then use to take over people's accounts. Tokens allow users to remain logged into Facebook so they don't have to keep re-entering their passwords every time they want access. Rosen said Facebook is in the early stages of investigation and has not yet determined whether any accounts were misused or if any information was accessed. He said, "We don't know who's behind these attacks or where they're based. We're working hard to better understand these details, and we will update this post when we have more information or if the facts change." Facebook said it fixed the flaw and notified law enforcement of the hacking. The company also has reset access tokens for the affected accounts and another 40 million accounts that have used the View As feature in the past year. All 90 million of those accounts must log back into Facebook, where they will see a notification explaining the incident. The company also said it is temporarily disabling the View As feature until it conducts a security review. Facebook said there is no need for users to change their passwords. FPP Radio News is brought to you by the Doublespeak Dictionary. The Doublespeak Dictionary by Leslie Starr O'Hara satirizes the marked difference between the ideal of we the people and the reality of we the elite, while offering an insightful glimpse into the clockworks of the totalitarian mind. Ever irreverent but never irrelevant, the Doublespeak Dictionary serves as a subversive and humorous but timely reminder that the emperor has no clothes. The Doublespeak Dictionary is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Walgreens will pay $34.5 million to settle charges that it misled investors about the increased risk that it would miss a key financial goal related to its merger in 2012, according to a top U.S. security regulator on Friday. The Securities and Exchange Commission said it had also charged former Chief Executive Officer Gregory Wasson and former finance head Wade Micalone, who agreed to each pay $160,000 in penalties. Walgreens said in a statement the settlement does not involve any current officers or executives, nor does it allege that anyone acted intentionally or recklessly at any time. The drugstore chain says it neither admits nor denies the SEC's allegations that the firm and its former top executives acted negligently. The SEC said both executives also consented to the order without admitting or denying their findings. Wasson and Micalone did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Reuters. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
I recently signed up for one of these self-defense classes and brought along a camera crew to watch. Take a good look at this class instructor.
Thank you very much.
Boy, was he smooth. He tried to butter us up with flowery compliments like, "Good work, nice try."
Yeah!
But don't worry, folks, I wasn't letting my guard down for 1 second. Maybe he wasn't planning to attack me at all, but he could potentially plan to attack me at some point, and that left only one option. Take him out first. This is him. This is the guy. My quarry approached, and when the moment was right, I struck.
Oh!
I knew he'd be able to counter my every move if I just did what he had taught me, so instead, I did exactly the opposite. I beat him with a baseball bat.
I am Shelby Cross! Do not ever attack me!
Now, folks, I acknowledge that this man may have never been a threat, but a potential threat is just as dangerous as a real one. I don't play games with my life, and neither should you, and that's it.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. It's the live Sunday edition. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
And we call it Free Talk Live because you're free to call in and talk live about, well, whatever's on your mind this Sunday evening. If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, any day of the year, you can call Free Talk Live and, well, get whatever it is out to our 100+ radio stations that are on any given night. So, when you're out there posting on Facebook and you've got these big important things to say and you want to make sure that the dozens of people that are going to read your post see it, just think there are hundreds of thousands that could be listening to you give your point here on the radio. But you're going to have questions, and that's always kind of the hard part. You don't just get to grandstand. So there you go. Free Talk Live. I'll give you the number here shortly. This Brett Kavanaugh thing has been certainly something that's been talked on Free Talk Live and a lot of talk shows right now.
It seems to me that it is definitely a dead horse, and there are some people that, they like beating those dead horses.
I believe there's a little life left in at least one of the hind quarters of this horse, and I'd like to beat that.
Oh, generally the people that are beating the dead horse, see, it's twitching.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you're just hitting the leg in such a way as to where it's moving.
Well, I'll have some questions for you that you could answer for me and anybody else who'd like to answer them. So there's a poll out from Newsweek.com, or at least being reported on Newsweek.com. I found like the first couple of lines of this to be so interesting. I didn't even get all the way through it. It says The Economist surveyed 1,500 U.S. adults, and the margin of error was 2.9 percentage points. So here we go. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh has been accused of sexual misconduct by multiple women, including allegations of sexual assault dating back a few decades. Even if these allegations are proven true, and I don't see how they could be proven true, but anyway, a new poll released this week showed a majority of
and it was 1,500 adults, not 150.
I'm sorry, did I say 150? Sorry,
you
15.
said 150, which caused me to immediately question the validity of any national poll
with 150
that's
people.
Only asking 150 people a question.
Pardon me. So even these allegations are proven true. A new poll released this week showed a majority of Republicans don't think that this is disqualifying for one of the most important jobs in the world. A poll from The Economist / YouGov asked about allegations of sexual assault made by Christine Blasey Ford against Kavanaugh, both of whom are scheduled to testify, well, they already have, before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Thursday. Which they did, and I watched it ad infinitum. The survey asked if it were proven that Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted a woman when they were both in high school, they were students 36 years ago. Do you think that does or does not disqualify Kavanaugh for being a Supreme Court justice? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to ask that of yourself right now. Not whatever reason that you might have that you think qualifies him or disqualifies him, but simply something that happened when he was in high school. Does that disqualify him? If he was found guilty, this is an if. This is not a situation of, well, I don't think he did it. You don't know whether he did it, and no one will ever really know whether he did it. This is an if question. 48% of respondents overall thought it should disqualify him. So that means 52%, or let's see, while 28% said it should not, and 24% said, oh, I don't know. According to the results from The Economist, YouGov, but among Republicans, a majority, 55%, thought a proven allegation of sexual assault does not disqualify Kavanaugh from serving on the Supreme Court. About one quarter said that they thought it does disqualify him, while 18% weren't sure. So, and Democrats, 71% thought a proven allegation of sexual assault should disqualify Kavanaugh. Honestly, the numbers aren't quite as partisan as I thought they would be, but we had somebody call in last night who was talking about Kavanaugh and how he wouldn't answer the female senator's questions. He just kept firing questions back at her, and to me, what it showed was this is just a partisan fight, and mostly I don't care. I would never have picked Brett Kavanaugh to be the Supreme Court nominee. Darryl, I suspect you wouldn't have either.
Right. Why should I want somebody that helped write the Patriot Act on the Supreme Court? Why would I want somebody who, in slightly more words, said the Fourth Amendment gets in the way of us spying on people? Why would I want that jackhole on the Supreme Court?
Well, I think that the Fourth Amendment does get in the way of the United States government spying on people. I mean, that's an accurate statement.
Good.
Agreed. Now, that would be the reason you and I mirror opinions on this. I wouldn't have nominated this guy in the first place. But
I wouldn't nominate any of them that are currently on the court to be on the court.
Being a guy who went to prison in my teen years, I kind of have to. And I can tell you, I'm very interested in forgiveness and things like that. Like, what's it mean? How does one go about asking for forgiveness? Things like that. So to me, I really sort of wonder. First off, I think that this happened 36 years ago. If this is an isolated incident, and at this point, the Senate Judiciary Committee has spent no time listening to any of the other people's claims, and some of those claims sound spurious. Certainly, Kavanaugh dismisses them with a chuckle.
While also talking about how much he likes beer.
He does. He mentioned beer.
I drink a lot of beer, but I don't think I ever passed out from having drank beer.
I tend to think that a person who was in their teens, drinking beer, I passed out from drinking alcohol as a teenager, or blacked out, I think is the term. I mean, certainly
right.
I'd had enough alcohol that, like my body couldn't handle it and I fell over kind of thing.
Right.
So it wouldn't surprise me if this happened, but he kind of is in a situation where he has to deny everything. Do you understand? Like, if he didn't say, A, I didn't do this, and B, I have never been drunk out of my mind, so therefore I couldn't have done this. If he didn't say those two things, then essentially he would probably not get the nomination.
Admit to be a fallible human.
Agreed. But that's not what's on the table here right now. On the table is this sort of whether he's going to be the Supreme Court nominee or not, and he has to design his answers for that.
None of these hearings have had anything to do with what his actual political positions are and how much he would shred the Constitution to pieces.
Yeah, and no doubt. Now, I understand, and I agree with you, but that's not really what the question is on the table today for us.
But it should be.
I agree.
And this is why I'm tired of this discussion about this jackass, because nobody actually wants to talk about what his positions are on issues. They want to talk about whether or not he did a horrible thing.
The Democrats would not disqualify this guy over his positions on the Patriot Act. That would not keep a Democratic senator from voting for this guy, because those two parties feel generally the same about your rights, which is to say they don't like them. And the Libertarians have not gotten elected, sadly. And I sincerely hope they do. I continue to vote for them. I really wish they'd get their S together and put together, a real freedom-oriented platform. Or not the platform. The platform's really good.
Right. I was about to say, have you read the platform lately?
I meant to say whatever their cast of candidates are. Their platform's usually quite good, but the candidates, on the other hand, tend not to mirror the platform, from what I've seen. So I wish they would. I wish it was Libertarian senators up there asking a Libertarian nominee about his status positions on this, that, or the other, but it's not. It's us dithering on whether or not this kid in his teens did some involuntary wrestling with this woman, and then everybody wants to besmirch her and all that other stuff. For me, I kind of wonder if he did it. If he did it, would that disqualify him, and why or why not? That's what I want to know from everybody, because for me, I got to say, if that's the only question you're asking me, I'd say no. Not for me. And I'm being honest. I know people aren't going to like it, but for me, that in and of itself would not disqualify him.
I'm curious to hear why.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450. Free as in freedom here on Free Talk Live.
This November, I'm running the New York City Marathon as a member of Team Innocence Project because I'm a passionate supporter of their work. 2018 has been a banner year for the Innocence Project. Since January, 9 of their clients have walked free. innocent people who combined to serve more than 200 years in prison for crimes they did not commit. And because of the Innocence Project, the risk of being wrongfully convicted has been greatly reduced for millions of people. October 2nd is International Wrongful Conviction Day. It's an opportunity to draw attention to the countless innocent men and women who remain behind bars and the need to reform our broken criminal justice system to prevent wrongful convictions. At any given time, the Innocence Project represents 200 clients who need their help to prove their innocence. This year, the Innocence Project helped pass a first-in-the-nation prosecutorial oversight law in New York and eyewitness identification reforms in New Hampshire and Louisiana. You can help the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition. You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
It's 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. Just said before we, just took a little break there, that, in fact, it seems like most Republicans, according to this poll here from The Economist, most Republicans don't think if Kavanaugh was guilty of the youthful sexual assault that he is accused of. And we're not accusing him. We're not saying he's guilty. But we're saying if he was, that they didn't find it a problem. Now, I find it disturbing in myself how often I'm matching up with the Republicans on this particular issue. But I, too, don't believe that if he's guilty, that should disqualify him for the seat. I want to talk about why. But I will be taking calls. The number's 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Bitcoin.com wants you to know about saveatpurse.com. Since launching in 2014, over 200,000 users have saved an average of 15% for a combined $4 million using Bitcoin. And now you can use Bitcoin Cash to fund your account. You can save between 5 and 33% on things you're going to buy anyway at Amazon when you shop using saveatpurse.com. It's sort of an overlay. It allows you to work with other people to use cryptocurrency to buy things on Amazon and save. Add items to your cart, fund your account, select your discount, and save. Saveatpurse.com. That's saveatpurse.com. Let's go to the Christian anarchist calling in on the Discord. Gene, what's on your mind?
Hi, guys. Yeah, I wanted to, first of all, do you know the hotel they're going to have that Anarchapulco in?
If you go to anarchapulco.com, that's anarchapulco.com, you can find the hotel there. I don't have it sitting in front of me, and I don't know off the top of my head.
I did go there. I couldn't. Maybe I just didn't look in the right spot. Anyway, that's not what I called about. Guess what? I called about something that you're not talking about, and that is gosh, you know what? Maybe
draw a blank.
Kavanaugh. Yeah, but Kavanaugh. You know, as far as Kavanaugh is concerned, I personally don't think that it would matter either if he did what he was accused of doing, because youngsters do things that they don't necessarily.
Are you saying the boys will be boys?
Yeah, and girls will be girls too. You know, I had a few instances where I was on the receiving end of some advances that I didn't like when I was young. It doesn't happen anymore now that I'm old, surprisingly enough.
No,
but
doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
Same.
So these things, you know, the indiscretion of youth shouldn't be a real problem. I don't think that I think this girl's making a bigger deal of it than it was. And I don't even think that she's 100% sure who did it.
She says she is.
Doesn't sound, well, I know she says she is, but I wonder if really deep down inside, she just convinced herself that it was this guy, because it doesn't sound like he was even there from what we can learn.
He's got an entry on his journal from July the 1st that said that it doesn't mention her, but it does mention some of the people she mentioned being at a party together on that evening. Now, the evening was like a Thursday, so one would wonder how late a high schooler was out at that time. But, you know, things like this could happen before it being too late.
Well, it was in July, so they wouldn't have had school the next day.
It's true. Yeah.
And I did want to confess tonight that I am a felon. I did something really bad yesterday that I probably am going to regret when the feds start knocking on my door.
Well, what is it?
But, you know, when you go into the shower and you turn that shower head on and the water just won't come out because they got that stupid restrictor in there.
Ah.
Well, I took the shower head all apart, and in a moment of craziness, I drilled that hole out to a larger size, so now I actually get real pressure out of my shower head. And I know that I shouldn't have done it, and I know that, you know, they may be knocking on my door at 5 a.m. with a search warrant, but I just couldn't help myself. I wanted a decent shower.
I hope they come over
your... Hold on. Technically, you're not a felon until you're convicted.
Oh, okay.
I hope they come over there to your house, and I hope they get you. And I hope they bring you over to my house so that you can drill them out at my house, too. Thanks for the call.
Because you don't know how to work power tools, you're not allowed because you're an actual felon?
I keep thinking about doing it, but I have not yet done what he says. Let's go to Daniel calling in from Missouri. Daniel, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for letting me on. I was just listening to you guys talking about Kavanaugh, and my thought was you seem like you're being pretty harsh on a man who, by pretty much every measure all of his life, has been a pretty good dude. There's really nothing that this woman has said that's going to be proven or disproven by an investigation. It's a he said, she said, and if you measure it as he actually did it, it's really just kind of a silly thing. A woman
So you think
another woman
asking
in
the
another
question
setting might describe that.
So you think asking
go
the
ahead.
question is being hard on him?
What's that?
You think asking the question
No.
if he did it?
Your commentary earlier was being fairly hard on him.
Oh, so about the Patriot Act and
think-
stuff.
Okay, so let's take that measure. Virtually everyone in politics at the time, and unfortunately, elections have consequences. But virtually everyone in politics at the time rushed to vote yes for the Patriot Act.
Unfortunately,
right, but not everybody helped write the thing.
What's that?
I said not everybody helped write the damn thing. Kavanaugh helped write.
Did.
Right. Brett Kavanaugh helped write the Patriot Act.
But that has to fall upon the people that are there at the time.
Wasn't the Patriot Act written well before?
You said earlier that you didn't think that anybody that was currently a Supreme Court justice would even belong on there if you had your way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd clear the bench
The question
if I
was,
could.
would I nominate Brett Kavanaugh? And I said I would not personally nominate anybody that's on the Supreme Court.
Right. If I could clear the bench and reset it, I certainly would, but no one's ever going to give me that kind of power. You know, I'm going to start with libertarian minds and people who understand what the Constitution says. The Constitution's very clear that the federal government has way outstepped its bounds, and conservatives aren't conservative enough on that.
Here's what I would challenge you to do. If you could come up with 9 judges that would meet that standard, I would be totally friggin' amazed, because how many actual judges that have that mindset that you're talking about have the kind of judicial experience that it requires to sit on that bench?
I don't know the answer to that. So I know that one of the recent vice presidents for the Libertarian nomination, his name was Judge Gray. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head. Jim Gray. And Napolitano, I think, would qualify. So that's 2, you know, just off the top of my head that I would throw in there if there weren't better ones. But I mean, the fact that people who understand what the Constitution says can't make it in a statist hierarchy, like an anti-statist document like the Constitution, at least largely, sets up a paradigm of unfortunately, of this sort of statist hierarchy, and anti-statist people can't make it through that hierarchy. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, I guess. Did you have more to say, Daniel?
I understand exactly what you're saying. So in the meantime, you got to
hold the line.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, You know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
If you're looking for work, or even if you're not, here's an innocent mistake you really want to avoid. Never return calls before listening to your voicemail. Your wireless phone sends calls you didn't answer into voicemail, and it shows you phone numbers for calls you missed. Important. Don't call back callers you missed until you have first listened to your messages. Otherwise, you frustrate people who bothered to leave messages by asking them to repeat a message they just left as your voicemail greeting instructed them to. If you're a job applicant, this alone could be a deal killer. And even if you're not, there are few things you can convey to someone that are as fundamentally maddening as, "I didn't hear you." With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. We're talking about this Brett Kavanaugh stuff, and, well, to me, I just find it interesting that there's just so many facets to this story that that you can kind of dig into. And I'd like to go into a little bit. We've got calls on the line. We'll certainly get to those. I want to tell you about Liberty.menu. So Liberty.menu is a website where you can go and find businesses and events and organizations that are liberty-oriented. People who have said that they'll abide by the non-aggression principle in their lives. And if you, wish to abide by the non-aggression principle too, go there and list your business. This is a free Relo pages for libertarians. People have been asking us for this for many years here on Free Talk Live, so we hooked up with Liberty.menu.
I can think of at least a decade that people have wanted this.
Oh, yeah, easily. Liberty.menu, please go check it out. If you go there and use code FTL, you get a special badge. So Liberty.menu, there's a kind of a social networking aspect to it too. I think it's kind of cool. Liberty.menu. Let's go to Jim calling in from Missouri. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live. They had that last caller on. He dropped off during the break. Sorry about that. Jim, you're on Free Talk Live.
Not a problem. Hey, this is Kavanaugh. I'm going to tell you, the fact that you got a small group of teenage kids in high school in a house with no adult supervision, drinking beer and having fun with each other, it wouldn't surprise me that something did happen, and it wouldn't bother me that if it would have been handled, whoever did this to her there wasn't trying to rape her. If there two guys are jumping on and off the bed and they're laughing, rushing around, it was a bunch of kids drinking and having fun.
Yeah.
And if it would have been
didn't sound like she had fun.
Well, we don't know. This is the one thing. We don't know whether she did or not. Nobody knows. But I'm saying if he had attempted to rape her and that's who he was, it would have happened again. So that's that. But even then, I don't think that should stop him. What should stop him is if he did do it, he lied. And I don't mind these politicians or judges deflecting questions, not answering the question, but you can't lie.
So if he, to me, I feel like his only option is to lie, right? So when
well, I understand because we are all felons. Just some of us have been tagged. Some of us have been, okay, we got you. But everybody in this country's done something wrong, something illegal, something somewhere.
He's lived his whole life in the judicial system too, and the judicial system says the way to deal with a problem is to deny, are the first three rules of criminal defense.
Yep.
And
so I agree with you. That's been my story for anything I've ever done. Everything the officer said happened is exactly right, except it wasn't me. I'm not arguing about what happened.
I just want to hear the. Tell me the evidence. That's what I want to know. Jim, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
All right.
855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. I feel like first off, in a perfect world, what this guy should do, if he did this, is he should apologize. I think that he should he should understand what he did and how it hurt Ms. Blasey Ford, and he should apologize for it. I don't think he can under the circumstances. Even if he did, I think he has to double down and deny, because
I don't think he is physically capable of apologizing because, as you said, he's a lawyer. Lawyers are taught to deny, and they've convinced themselves that fiction is truth to the point to where I think he honestly believes that he did not do whatever, and I don't know if he did. Something happened. I am convinced 100% that somebody molested Miss Ford.
What makes you so convinced? I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard yet anything. Here's the one thing I would say on this is the people that say that a woman would never come forward with a false sexual allegation, especially take it this far and those kinds of things. I will say that, that she didn't seem to take it that far. Sort of Feinstein, sort of foisted her out in the middle of it. But to say that a woman wouldn't make a false sexual allegation.
That is not what I said.
No, I didn't say you did, but lots of people have. And I just want to address that real quick.
I just want to make sure that
clear.
You are not saying that I'm saying that this is a false allegation or that no woman has ever made a false allegation.
I just want to be clear that that if we expect a young man and young people in the military to take some hill that has no name, to fight and die, and they will die by the bucketfuls of them, just their blood spilled everywhere for some nameless hill, and then some politicians that they know that will be given away by some politician in the future, that their deaths and their struggles will be for nothing. If somebody will fight and die like that, sure, some woman absolutely would make some false accusation in order to advance the Democratic line, whatever that might be. Sure, I mean, that's just bravery is all that is. It's misplaced bravery, but in many cases, the young people that fight and die for nameless hills, I guess their bravery was misplaced too, because they gave it to politicians who would give the hill away. So that's my thought, and I've heard that a lot, Darryl, so please.
Statistically speaking, out of, and I think it's the statistics that I've been seeing recently are out of 1,000 rapes.
Yep.
Or 1,000 reports of rapes.
1,000, yeah.
Only 2 wind up being completely fabricated.
So
there's a much smaller percentage where cops even investigate. And of that, there's an even smaller percentage that even go to trial.
Right. So if the cops don't investigate, then how do we know that it was made up out of whole cloth? And that's one of the things about these statistics that we just don't know. I mean, so you have these reports. 2 of them are proven to be false, but a lot of them just never go any farther. He said, she said situation like Ford and Kavanaugh situation, as we can see it, isn't going to go anywhere because there's really no evidence. She hasn't got a place. She hasn't got a time. She hasn't got a date, and according to Kavanaugh, she hasn't got a person. She hasn't got a who, a where, or a when, and that's pretty tough. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that as a charge, it's meaningless. It has no value because who would investigate it? So the FBI is going to wander around trying to find out what house this happened in.
Try to find witnesses.
Trying to find a date.
Generally,
they have witnesses. And witnesses have said they don't have any recollection of this occurring. Now, one of them says that she believes Ms. Ford, but she doesn't have any recollection of it happening. How can you believe somebody when you don't have any idea what happened? And it seems like in many cases the lines have been drawn based on gender, party line, a whole bunch of things.
Yep, and going back to that survey that you mentioned earlier, favorability rating. 67% of Republicans have a somewhat or very favorable opinion of Brett Kavanaugh. And that lines up with the other ones of, do you think he's qualified? 75% say he's qualified. So more people think he's qualified than have a favorable opinion of the guy. Next question is, do you think Brett Kavanaugh is honest and trustworthy? 67% think he is honest and trustworthy. 74% think that the Senate should confirm Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court. And again, I'm just reading the Republican numbers here. 61% have said that they've heard a lot about the allegations here.
I've watched the hearings.
And, this is all subjective of what does it mean to hear a lot? Well, I listened to this blowhard on the radio talk about how it's fake for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Well, somebody could say, I heard a lot about it. And somebody else, well, I heard a little.
If you listen to I've looked at both media on this, and if you listen to the Democrats, Kavanaugh is obviously lying. If you listen to the Republicans, there's, Ford is, confused and whatever. If you listen to the crazies out there, she's a CIA plant.
The most interesting question here is, do you think it's appropriate or inappropriate for a woman to come forward with an allegation of sexual assault after 36 years? 66% of Republicans say not appropriate at all. If you didn't say something 5 minutes before it happened, then you're making it up.
Interesting. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet at your cash register, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses in our setup page, and then load our app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. That's AnyPay.global.
Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global.
Hello, this is Dr. Bill Deagle, MD of NutriMedical.com, announcing the breakthrough Red Deer Velvet DR. It delivers the protected building blocks of all organs and tissues, allowing your own stem cells as architects and engineers to regenerate you. Not since fetal life, when aging does not occur, has such an amazing NutriMed been available to help heal you and regenerate you. Anti-aging requires that you correct mineral, activated nutraceutical, and jump the gene defects and poor diet you have to deliver the cellular tools for regeneration. You must remove old damaged cells and replace them with your young healthy cells to wind the biological clock to a younger you. Order your Red Deer Velvet DR now at NutriMedical.com 24/7 or 888-212-8871. That's NutriMedical, N-U-T-R-I, Medical, MEDICAL.com. Or call our order line 888-212-8871.
Free Talk Live.
Ms. Maxwell's local council has decided that the pool, which is only 2 feet deep, needs a lifeguard. It's a kiddie pool. As if the lifeguard wasn't enough, she's also been told she must have insurance. The health and safety edict came after she wrote to the city council asking for permission to put a bigger pool in the communal garden outside her home. That was her mistake, asking for permission rather than forgiveness. But nonetheless, not only was she told it was too dangerous, but the council told her to empty the existing pool. The Portsmouth manager defended the ruling yesterday. Nigel Selly said, We didn't have sufficient assurances that the risks associated with providing such a facility would be well managed. It's a facility. How dare you? How dare you erect this structure on your property?
It's an inflatable pool.
Without our permission.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Refrigerated Cookie Dough. Who would you bake some love for? Find fun and easy baking ideas at tollhouse.com. Kids love doing arts and crafts projects, especially when you join in. Try channeling all that artistic energy into the kitchen and bake up some creative treats together. Think of your art supplies as the frosting, sprinkles, and decorating gels, and use cookies or cupcakes as your canvas. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. We've been talking about a poll that came out regarding Kavanaugh that said that a majority of Republicans don't feel like a youthful sexual assault would disqualify him for a position on the Supreme Court. And
a vast majority of Republicans also said that they think it's inappropriate for a woman to talk about sexual assault 36 years after it happened.
Do you mean come forward or to just talk about it, period?
The question specifically is to come forward.
Okay.
But that would also mean don't talk about it. It happened a long time ago. Don't talk about it.
Yeah,
it's water under the bridge.
It's pretty harsh, I gotta say. But to me, I guess it's a political football, is what it all seems like. I doubt very seriously the FBI is going to come up with anything that looks like evidence surrounding this. I'm curious. Believe me, I'm curious. I watched all of the confirmation hearing. I watched the vote on Friday. I'm going to keep an eye on this because, for whatever reason, it's got my attention.
What was the vote on Friday? I thought they delayed voting.
The committee voted. So basically, you had 10 Republicans, 10 Democrats, and then Jeff Flake, the kind of sort of libertarian-ish Republican guy, right?
Who the hell calls Jeff Flake a libertarian?
The Republican Liberty Caucus gave him, I believe, the highest rating for a senator some years ago.
They're out of their minds.
Okay.
He is by no stretch of any definition of the word libertarian a libertarian anything.
He certainly disagrees with Trump on some issues, and he's leaving office, so it gave him a sort of middle-of-the-road feel for this particular one. More or less, this whole hearing was essentially for Flake. We knew which direction 10 people on each side were going to go, and then there's this one guy in the middle. Flake voted to confirm, but only through the committee, and his recommendation was if there was going to be an FBI investigation, but a fast one. A zippy investigation.
Right. Investigate this before supper.
Right, that kind of thing.
I think was actually the headline put out by The Onion.
Yeah. That's probably a good place to
investigate it before supper because Matlock's coming on.
So, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I kind of get where the Republicans are. The Democrats just brought this out for a delay. And it really looks like the Democrats themselves, I'm not talking about Blasey Ford, the Democrats themselves brought this out for a delay. That they trotted this out in the 11th hour and all that stuff. And that's the political shenanigans.
Well, remember
with
2 years ago, the Republicans were convinced that you can't vote on a Supreme Court justice during an election year.
They sure are. They sure were. And
now it's an election year, and they're just going to go ahead and vote.
But now the Democrats are mad because of that, and they're trying to do whatever they can to this particular nominee because of that. And for me, what's interesting is Blasey Ford is a real person, I believe, with a real problem, and has a real family. Kavanaugh is a real person with a real family who really coaches girls basketball. His wife was really sitting beside him, and I could dismiss him as, this ogre of the Republican side if I felt like it. I can dismiss Blasey Ford as a tool of the Democratic side, but to me,
which it sounds like you have.
I don't think I have. I believe in forgiveness. I believe that there's very little evidence besides testimony in this, and testimony on both sides is really pointless. The arrangement, the whole situation, but I think that I'm taking a middle of the road tack because I'm just interested. I want to know to me. This is the passion play. I'm very interested in what's going on. So. Anyway, I'm not going to... Darryl, I know this upsets the heck out of you. You hate this Kavanaugh thing. So...
Because it's been a dead horse that people have been beating for 2.5 weeks.
I don't think it's been going on 2.5 weeks. I mean, the committee's really Kavanaugh just had his chance to talk on Thursday. We got to hear from Blasey Ford on Thursday. And then, Flake...
Right. And it was like a week and a half before either of them testified to the committee.
I know.
That people have been talking about.
But it wasn't over. It had... Just because there was a whole long prelude doesn't mean that the first chapter didn't happen.
Right. And everything that's been talked about leading up to them talking and after them talking is the same damn talking.
I know, Darryl, but do you consider this for a second? There's a certain level of bitterness that you have that the Republicans and the Democrats won't let libertarians into debates, so that there's a fair opportunity for libertarians to get a seat at the table so that they can then have opportunities to grill these Supreme Court justices.
I'm upset that we have a rigged election system that your party helped create.
Well, it's not my party because all they do is ask me for money. I mean, yes, I have served as a Republican delegate to the state convention for the state of New Hampshire, but that just means that people who took a Republican ballot in my town, is it my town or was it my district? Anyway, in there, voted to, it was my town, voted to send me as the delegate. Not that...
you also asked to have your name on the ballot. It's not like somebody dragged you kicking and screaming.
No, well, it was either me or there's nobody on the ballot, and then they'd have just appointed somebody. Why in the world wouldn't I want, the opportunity for my friends and neighbors to be able to vote for me, who I consider to be better than every other Republican out there?
So you're admitting you're a Republican. Thank you.
I am a member of the Republican Party, but I didn't vote in the last primary.
I'm just pointing out that you are a Republican.
Did you vote?
I voted in the Libertarian primary.
So your opinion is meaningful. Mine apparently is not, because I didn't even vote.
I said your party has helped rig the system, and you were denying that it's your party.
It's hardly my party.
Then you wound up admitting that you're a Republican.
If it was my car, I drive it. At my party, I got no control over it at all. There are basically two functional parties in the United States, and a couple
If by functional you mean have control over setting the rules for who winds up getting to participate in a high level in government, then yes.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't appreciate the libertarians for giving me somebody to vote for in a national election. I really do. Because I generally think the candidates the libertarians put up are a head and shoulders above the other candidates that are offered. And I'm usually going to default to a libertarian candidate, even as a delegate to the state convention for the Republican Party. However, as a pragmatist, and I am at my core a pragmatist, I'm going to participate in a party that has a chance. Now, in my particular district...
It has a chance to rig the elections.
Right. In my particular district, I have never participated in election rigging. You cannot put that upon me.
Didn't say you personally, but the party that you align yourself with
If I was elected as a representative to New Hampshire, to the State House in New Hampshire, I would vote for fairness because I think that competition breeds better parties generally.
One Republican that did.
That's fine. And they can come after me with slings and arrows. I don't care because I don't care. And there are a few Republicans that would do it. I mean, I've seen a few of them. There'd be a handful of Republicans that would vote against, the majority there, the vast majority.
Oh, I can show you the roll calls from earlier this year where they didn't.
I understand, but I'm talking about over the last decade, Republicans that I've seen in there. I know that there are some, but Anyway, Mike Sylvia we talked about on the air last night, and I suspect he wouldn't vote for to exclude a third party. Just a guess. By the way, we talked about him, and he's got a... I don't know if you heard this story, Darryl.
I read a couple of articles about what he's facing, where he's up against the select board of his town because the select board told the
Selectmen is what we call them here in New Hampshire, even if they're women.
All right, whatever. The select board men, whatever, they asked the zoning guy to go cite Mike Sylvia because he's not following our rules.
Yeah, the rules are that you have to have an occupancy permit, and apparently the claim is, I don't know what's happening, but the claim is that he's living in a garage maybe, and
for part of the year.
But we don't know whether the garage has been
the other part of the year.
We don't know whether the garage has been turned into some palatial on the inside because he doesn't let anybody inspect it, and an RV's parked out front.
The town's attorney tried to compel Mike Sylvia to testify under oath to say that he did not live in an RV for part of the year and in a garage for part of the year, and he invoked his rights against self-incrimination, citing the New Hampshire Constitution, not the federal.
Well, that's interesting. Is New Hampshire better on self-incrimination?
I don't know if it is or not, but still, technically, from the originalist standpoint, the federal Constitution doesn't apply to state offenses.
Yeah, I get where people are coming from on that, because certainly there were state religions at the time. However, the right in the Fifth Amendment not to incriminate yourself clearly speaks to a national right of people, in the incipient United States. To me, 855-450-3733. Your thoughts? 855-450 free here on Free Talk Live, as in free as in freedom. 855-450-FREE.
Hi, this is Sophie Winnick, longtime distributor and user of Youngevity products. In the last few years, my family went through a crisis. Everything else in my life, including my business, had to be put on the back burner. Thankfully, life is getting back to normal now. But the one thing I never had to worry about was my business and my monthly commission. I've been a distributor for Youngevity for over 17 years, since before it was Youngevity. And I've got to say, the most amazing thing about this company is the people. While my family was in crisis, other distributors stepped in and helped my customers, simply because that's what Youngevity people do, even for people they don't know. For me, it has never been about getting rich. It was about a product I could stand behind, a company I could count on, and a monthly commission check that has never, not once, been late in 17 years. Youngevity is truly a business for everyone, even people who have too much to do. I'm Sophie Winnick. I'm just like you. I have a real life, real ups and downs, but I know I will always have Youngevity.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for the weekend of September 29th and 30th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.65 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,192 per ounce. Zen is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,568. Antiwar.com reports conflicting reports emerged on Friday about negotiations between the Taliban and Afghan governments earlier in the week. Anonymous Taliban officials were quoted as saying such talks took place and ended with an agreement for a prisoner exchange. Indeed, one official suggested that some Taliban had already been released since the talks. Yet, the official Taliban spokesman issued a contrary statement insisting that no such talks ever happened. They also reported that planned talks with the U.S. fell through at the last minute for certain reasons. The Taliban-Afghan talks had been reported to be planned before, with the talks expected, as since reported, as the Afghan government wanted security guarantees for the October election and wanted detained Taliban members freed in return. With conflicting statements and the Afghan government refusing comment, there is no way of knowing whether the talks actually happened or if a deal was struck. Reports of detainees being released are similarly impossible to confirm since the Taliban never made the list of sought releases public. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports a Facebook feature that allows users to view their profile the way others would see it allowed hackers potential access to millions of accounts, according to the company on Friday. Guy Rosen, Facebook Vice President of Product Management, says the social network discovered the bug on Tuesday and that it affected as many as 50 million users. Rosen said in a Facebook blog post on Friday, it's clear that attackers exploited a vulnerability in Facebook's code that impacted View As, a feature that lets people see what their own profile looks like to someone else. This allowed them to steal Facebook Access tokens, which they could then use to take over people's accounts. Tokens allow users to remain logged into Facebook so they don't have to keep re-entering their passwords every time they want access. Rosen said Facebook is in the early stages of investigation and has not yet determined whether any accounts were misused or if any information was accessed. He said, "We don't know who's behind these attacks or where they're based. We're working hard to better understand these details, and we will update this post when we have more information or if the facts change." Facebook said it fixed the flaw and notified law enforcement of the hacking. The company also has reset access tokens for the affected accounts and another 40 million accounts that have used the View As feature in the past year. All 90 million of those accounts must log back into Facebook, where they will see a notification explaining the incident. The company also said it is temporarily disabling the View As feature until it conducts a security review. Facebook said there is no need for users to change their passwords. FPP Radio News is brought to you by the Doublespeak Dictionary. The Doublespeak Dictionary by Leslie Starr O'Hara satirizes the marked difference between the ideal of we the people and the reality of we the elite, while offering an insightful glimpse into the clockworks of the totalitarian mind. Ever irreverent but never irrelevant, the Doublespeak Dictionary serves as a subversive and humorous but timely reminder that the emperor has no clothes. The Doublespeak Dictionary is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Walgreens will pay $34.5 million to settle charges that it misled investors about the increased risk that it would miss a key financial goal related to its merger in 2012, according to a top U.S. security regulator on Friday. The Securities and Exchange Commission said it had also charged former Chief Executive Officer Gregory Wasson and former finance head Wade Micalone, who agreed to each pay $160,000 in penalties. Walgreens said in a statement the settlement does not involve any current officers or executives, nor does it allege that anyone acted intentionally or recklessly at any time. The drugstore chain says it neither admits nor denies the SEC's allegations that the firm and its former top executives acted negligently. The SEC said both executives also consented to the order without admitting or denying their findings. Wasson and Micalone did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Reuters. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Well, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one.
Today, Pennington's black part of town moved across the river to North Pennington. The Thompson family sold their home on the east side and moved to the old Kirkland Place at 17 Mansfield Place, establishing the all-new black neighborhood. Northside residents are looking forward to the infusion of fun and funk that the new black part of town is sure to bring to their area. Mayor Mitzi Kranowitz presided over the dedication of the new black neighborhood, unveiling a sign designating it a landmark district.
It's lovely, everyone. Pennington's diversity is its strength, whether it's Little Harlem or the so-called Gayborhood, where Paul and his partner Bryant have that cottage.
Sheriff Stevens today announced that the heavy round-the-clock patrols that helped make the old Thompson house one of the safest neighborhoods in town will move with them.
This has nothing to do with the black part of town moving here. We just want to make sure that everyone here has a comfortable place to live.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. It's a live Sunday edition, kicking off the second hour. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
You can call in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. We spent most of the last hour talking about this Kavanaugh fella, and you're welcome to call in and talk about that or anything else that's on your mind. We've got some great stories for you. Darryl, you're talking about people leaving California.
Yeah, and apparently not enough people.
Not enough. It's still there's 2 people in California, right? It's a great place geographically. Yeah, but
great place to visit.
Yeah, there's some real problems with living there. 49th freest state in the union, according to the Cato Institute's Freedom in the 50 States chart. Let's go to Rick calling in from New Mexico. Rick, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
As I understood the rule that you were talking about where a Supreme Court nominee could not be nominated during an election year.
I'd heard that.
I understood that came. Was that correct? Is that
no? So remember 2 years ago during the presidential election year when there was a vacancy, Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland. And the Republicans swore up and down that they were prohibited from voting during an election year.
So this is how I understand what happened there. That came about because of a speech from Joe Biden in 1992 when he was a senator, and he insisted that an incoming president should be the one to pick his Supreme Court nominee. And after that, they made the Joe Biden rule, and that was the election year that they were talking about was during a presidential election, not midterm.
Yeah.
See, I just heard them say you can't vote on judicial nominees during an election year.
Well, so the Senate is this august body, right? And they claim to be so important. They have all these sort of unwritten rules and how senators are supposed to behave with each other and all these sorts of things. They're not like the unwashed House of Representatives, as they say. I mean, really, what are they? They're just a House of Representatives. They have no particular claim on any kind of behavior other than that. But that's the idea.
And going back to that speech by Joe Biden in 1992, there was not even a Supreme Court vacancy in 1992.
Well, I heard the speech the other day on another talk show where he was talking about it.
Yeah, so it's actual audio?
He made a speech. I'm not denying that he made a speech.
Well, they do call it the Biden rule, and if people have if you put a rule in place, whatever that might be, or suggest a rule, and then that rule gets implemented, you really can't argue that it was not implemented the way you wanted it implemented.
I'm not saying it's not called the Biden rule.
Okay.
I'm simply stating that what he was talking about was not even something that they were facing in 1992.
I get why the Republicans would choose not to, confirm a nominee that was that close to the end of a lame duck president's tenure. I get why the Democrats don't want to see Kavanaugh in office. It's political games, and if they want to go by rules, expect those rules to be enforced in both directions. So, to me, not a problem.
That I totally agree with. Yeah, I do.
Right, and
Thanks for the call, Rick.
The reason the Republicans didn't want to vote on Merrick Garland in 2016 is because they did not want to confirm a nominee appointed by a different party.
Yeah. Well, duh.
It's all, as you said, it's all partisan BS.
Let's go to the phones. Got Matthew calling in from Louisiana. Matthew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, Darryl. Hello, Mark. I called in on Thursday and was promptly shot down by Chris and Darryl.
Okay.
About my reaction to the Kavanaugh hearing.
What's your reaction?
I thought, my God, this is our new standard of justice. I was told it's just a job interview,
Yeah.
And
I don't see it that way.
You quoted some statistic about 6 out of 1,000 rapes are actually result in conviction. Was that the statistic you were quoting? And where did you get that?
I don't remember where I saw that, but I've seen it in multiple news sources.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, because I went looking for it, and all I found was that 6 out of 1,000 Americans will be raped, which I think is rather high, but I didn't realize that the conviction rate could be transposed from that. But I got home, and my wife was furious.
With?
I mean, she was livid at the way Brett Kavanaugh was being treated, and here's why. That could be her son.
Yeah.
Her son had a similar upbringing, went to a Jesuit school. In no way was he any part of the elite. And the odds of him being nominated to the Supreme Court would be the same as my running for parish council down here. As a matter of fact, if I ran for parish council, so many skeletons would be crawling around in my front yard that I'd be too busy shaking hands with them.
Well, the skeletons tend not to come out until the national level, but nonetheless, I mean, down
here in Jefferson Parish, the skeletons come out. We have Skeletor producing the darn thing.
Yeah, I think that the whole idea that that women don't want Kavanaugh on because of his gender seems ridiculous to me, considering women give birth to men. But there certainly are women in the world and people in the world that don't want Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court because of his gender. Darryl, let me ask you this question. We know that if Kavanaugh doesn't get confirmed, Trump will make another nomination.
Yes.
That nomination will likely be very similar to Brett Kavanaugh, right?
Probably.
So why do you care?
Be a woman.
Do you care? Would you prefer to see Kavanaugh confirmed or not, knowing that is true?
I would prefer to see the U.S. Supreme Court abolished and the entire federal government go away.
You don't get that pick.
I know that's not the option before me.
Right.
I know that's not the option before me. But the question that you're asking, Mark, is would I like a crap sandwich or would I like a crap sandwich
with a pickle?
Might not have as many corn pieces.
Thanks for the call, Matthew. Appreciate it. 855-450-3700.
Or maybe more pieces of corn. I don't know.
855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Let's go to Christine calling in from North Dakota. Christine, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi. This thing has had me fuming. I'm a survivor from multiple sexual abuses and other abuse, and
I'm sorry that happened to you.
I just feel like this whole thing is going to, make other women who need to come out, their stories not going to be effective because of all this. They're like,
well, why wouldn't the story be effective? Just what's your concern that will occur?
Well, because so many people are now skeptic of the accusations, which I am. I can tell, I remember every single one of my accounts of rape and stuff. And with her not being able to remember anything is a crock. You don't forget things like that.
You're not surprised. I mean, you're not unsurprised that she can't remember, which house it happened to be in or what day.
Not at all.
Okay.
And one of them, I was gang raped, and I was drunk, like to the point, but I still remember everything from that night. So I do not believe her. And, people are just going to, not believe any woman because of this whole charade. And
there are already some people that don't believe any woman.
There who, huh?
I said there are already people that don't believe any woman that comes up with any kind of story about anything.
True, and I don't think that women should be believed. But here's the thing.
Hold the line, Christine. I want to get. I believe that you need more time to talk about this. If you'll hold the line, I'll bring you right back. Okay.
Okay.
The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. It's a touchy subject, I gotta say. 855-450-FREE.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink, like we have. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. And Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening at home anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. You can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL.
Bitcoin.com wants you to know about SaveItPurse.com. Since launching in 2014, over 200,000 users have saved an average of 15% for a combined $4 million using Bitcoin, or BTC. And now you can use Bitcoin Cash, BCH, to fund your account. You can save between 5 to 33% on things you're going to buy anyway when you shop using SaveItPurse.com. Add items to your cart, fund your account, select your discount, and save. SaveItPurse.com. SaveATPurse.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. It's the live Sunday night edition. You can call in and talk about whatever you want. We've been talking about this Kavanaugh situation. Christine from North Dakota called in with, some experience and some thoughts. And I'm going to get right back to her. But real quick, I want to tell you about cryptotip.org. If you like cryptocurrency, if you want more people to use cryptocurrency, I believe that an ideal form of outreach is to leave cryptocurrency as tips. Well, CryptoTip is a printable business card-sized tip that you can leave to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip so that they're not just throwing away what they think is, some kind of outreach tool. And it is. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of what cryptocurrency is, how to install a wallet, allow them to claim the amount you put on the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period that you specify. So it doesn't just disappear. So if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. It's an excellent outreach tool. Cryptotip.org. And yes, they don't just have Bitcoin, but Dash and Bitcoin Cash. Cryptotip.org. Let's go back to Christine in North Dakota. So, Christine, you said that your concern is that this whole Kavanaugh situation is going to cause women to be less likely to come forward because they will feel that they won't be believed. Is that exactly it?
Well, yes. It's just the whole thing with it because Juanita Broderick did come out. She had the evidence, and it was swept under the rug because she was going up against Bill Clinton. And now this woman, she's linked to Hillary Clinton or Hillary. She's linked to George Soros and Bill. And
how's she linked to these people? I haven't heard this.
There's photographs with her or her attorney meeting with each of those.
Okay.
There's also photographs of Donald Trump hanging out with Bill and Hillary.
But anyway, go on.
And so anyways, I just find it really fishy that, she had all this time in her life to come out with it, even through all his times coming into the position of being a judge, and they wait to the 11th hour to bring this up. Like, that's fishy to me. And I just think it sets a very double standard with Juanita's being, swept in the rug, yet this girl can come in and destroy the whole process of how we get judges into our system. And, I wasn't a Kavanaugh a fan at first either, but now that I know that the left is so pissed off that he's getting in there, it raises, he is probably one that is good for our country because anything that pisses the left off is, in my mind, good because the left is so way out there anymore that
I checked out Snopes on this these pictures with Clinton and Blasey Ford, and apparently they're claiming that those aren't Blasey Ford in those.
Well,
pictures.
I don't really trust Snopes. They're a pretty leftist site. So.
Christine, all the best to you. Thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I wouldn't know. All I know is that they're showing a picture here claiming that it is not Blasey Ford, but in fact a Democratic senator, Christine Gillibrand here. Maybe she's a representative. I don't know. United States Senator from New York. Let's go to Sarah calling in from New Mexico. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yes, the Columbus, Ohio, the bus drivers, they're so afraid that they're going to lose their jobs to the self-driving cars.
that they're going on strike to show that they're more important than a self-driving car, which I think is just absolutely hilarious.
The workers, you mean? I mean
the bus drivers.
These are the workers, though. These are public sector union members, and
yes,
should be supported by any good leftist. Sarah,
the bus drivers that are upset that there are going to be a handful of self-driving buses. So the bus drivers that say our jobs are more important than a self-driving car are threatening to strike, thus essentially proving the need for self-driving buses.
Well, but the thing is, their effort is futile because it's like people fighting ATM machines because it's going to take away jobs from a teller.
I guess it probably did.
The thing is, they have like hundreds of thousands of ATM machines, and I still use it when I could use the teller. Sometimes I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to go in the building.
They charge you. Some banks will charge you for using a teller.
No, but I mean, from my bank.
I understand. Some banks, however, will charge you for using a teller. They want you to use the ATM.
Well, the thing about it is that it's supposed to take away jobs. And you know what? I use the self-checkout at the grocery stores. I like using the self-checkout. I see one checkout clerk managing like 4 self-checkout. So 4, it's like one person handles the 4 self-checkout. Do you see people protesting and going on strike? Do you see the cash registers?
Oh, I see people on Facebook very unhappy with self-checkout, and
right. But most grocery store workers aren't unionized, so if they walk off the job, you just quit. Don't come back.
I'll just go through the self-checkout. You're right. I guess, for me, I generally don't use the self-checkout, but it's because I'm just used to going to the regular aisle, and
for me, it depends.
I find vegetables difficult to ring up, and always, wine or something difficult to ring up.
Right, because on that you've got to wait for the store employee
so why not
to
just
come
go
over and type the thing in.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm sure that's another issue.
But I've always found this whole thing of I'm going to walk off of my job to prove how important I am to my job to be rather stupid.
Sarah?
Well, I mean, why are they going to stop progress? I'm talking about the self-driving cars are going to be safer. It's going to be safer for the drivers, less auto accident. You get trucks like blow out a tire and it's spilling meat all over the freeway. You know what I mean? Losing thousands of dollars.
A self-driving truck could still wind up having a tire blowout.
Right, but it's less people, like less accidents with drivers falling asleep while they're listening to Coast to Coast, 3 o'clock in the morning. They drive 1 in the morning to 5 in the morning, and next thing they'll fall asleep. And then the whole truck flips and everything spills out. That's gonna be reduced.
Well,
you know what? I think
as I understand it, semi-truck drivers are safer than your average vehicle on the road.
Yes.
At least that's my understanding of it. I suppose I could look that up. But certainly when they do have accidents, and everybody's going to have an accident, it's probably more deadly just because they're gigantic is the reason.
And
to me,
Mark, you are correct. There are fewer accidents per miles driven by truck drivers.
Yeah. God bless them. Keeping America rolling. Sarah, thanks for the call. Free Talk
Thank
Live.
them for their service.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset, where we're proud of our 100% grown and sewn American-made jeans. Whether you're out for dinner, working on the farm, or on the road, Diamond Gusset Jeans offers a full spectrum of styles and sizes for any occasion. To find yours, visit gusset.com. That's GUSSET.com. Our loyal customers enable us to continue sponsoring Liberty media outlets like the one you're listening to. In Liberty, David Hall, Diamond Gusset Jean Company.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
Number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. The 4th Texas Bitcoin Conference is coming up fast. It's at the end of October, October 27th and 28th in Austin, Texas. It had to be in Texas, right? It's called the Texas Bitcoin Conference. It's always a great event.
Yeah, if it was in Oklahoma, that would just be weird.
Yeah, like have it in New York.
New York City.
New York City.
Get a rope.
Get a rope. That's good. I love that. I love that Pace Picante sauce commercial. I mean, it's a real classic.
Pace Picante made in Texas.
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh, well, God bless them.
Tying it back around.
Yeah, always a great event for networking, innovation, entertainment. This year, speakers include Paul Snow of Factum, Bruce Fenton of Ravencoin, Professor John M. Griffin, and more. Go to TexasBitcoinConference.com right now and get your tickets. Come and join us, because Free Talk Live will be there again, and it's a great event. I cannot understate it. It's lots of fun. If you're in the area, you should come. TexasBitcoinConference.com. Darryl, apparently people are trying to escape California like it's some kind of prison.
Yes. And CNBC has an article citing an op-ed from the Wall Street Journal. And because the Wall Street Journal locks their stuff down unless you pay them, I can't actually read that. So I'm stuck reading an article about
An article.
An article.
I hate that.
Yeah, so do I. Headline, 800,000 people are about to flee New York and California because of taxes, according to Economist. Conservative economist Arthur Laffer and Stephen Moore are predicting a new mass exodus of wealth from New York and California because of the new tax law. But academics who have studied taxes and migration call the forecast pure nonsense. In an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal.
Well, what's not nonsense is that New York and California have been shedding people for a long time, and that places with better tax schemes seem to have been gaining people. Better, I mean, no income tax, essentially.
Right.
People just hate it. They just hate income tax. They don't want to have to file that, and it's annoying. And
the sales tax in New York is not cheap.
No, it's not. But I feel like sales tax just feels a lot less intrusive to people than income tax does. You know, it comes around once a year. You got to file the form. Tax is essentially used in the case of cigarettes and alcohol and things like that to discourage use. Right? It's called a sin tax. Well, what is an income tax supposed to discourage? Productivity?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure that's the main result. I can tell you that I have, friends who are wealthy, and those friends report to me that if they take from the dollar that their business gets, that they get like a dime from it when it finally trickles down. And I'd have to ask myself, obviously not everybody's the same and their motivations are different, and some people are passionate about their work and stuff like that, but if I was doing something that I wasn't particularly passionate about, and I got a dime for every dollar I produced, would I be willing to continue doing that if I considered myself wealthy? If I could essentially just go out and play golf for a living or whatever it is that I wanted to do, whatever I found to be exciting, or go fishing or whatever, would I just go and do that instead? And I think that's, for some people, certainly the lower the amount you get, the closer it gets to 1 penny from $1, the more people say, I'm out of here. And do you want to create a team that its marquee players are disincentivized from playing? Because for everybody out there that's good at making an income, there's somebody who's great at it. There's always somebody at the end of the bell curve. Those people are the ones, at least on a basketball team, those are the ones that score the points, right? It's the Michael Jordans that get the credit. So you want to create a system where your Michael Jordans are incentivized to make money. Seems to me, unless you just hate the rich, which there's plenty of people who are like that. I hate rich people. Now, they don't distinguish between rich people who got rich providing a good or a service to those in need.
Well, and then there's also, arbitrary definitions of what is rich.
Sure.
Some people think anybody making over $50,000 a year is rich.
In some communities it is.
Other people think that it's anybody over $250,000. Other people say it's millionaires.
Yep. People that have, right? It's interesting how it goes from income to holdings, right? In some cases it's holdings.
Right.
In some cases it's income. There are people out there that live in $1 million homes and drive really great cars whose income is less than $30,000 a year. Now, they have everything bought for them. They're out there. And, are they rich? Well, they live like rich people.
Right. So continuing on here in the Wall Street Journal op-ed, again, written by Arthur Laffer and Stephen Moore, who, by the way, have both advised President Donald Trump. They say the new tax bill will cause a net 800,000 people to move out of California and New York over the next 3 years. The tax changes limit the deduction of state and local taxes.
So 800,000 people in 3 years, okay?
Yes, fleeing these two states combined. The tax changes, again, limit the deduction of state and local taxes to $10,000. So many high-earning taxpayers in high-tax states will actually face a tax increase under the new tax code.
Sure they will.
That tax proposal that was said by some to be tax breaks for the wealthy.
Yeah.
Apparently is going to wind up being tax hikes for some of the wealthy.
At least in certain states.
Correct. That's why I said for certain wealthy. Laffer and Moore say that the effective income tax rate, what people actually pay for high earners in California, will jump from 8.5% to 13%.
It's a big jump.
Wealthy Manhattanites would face a similar increase, they say. Those who make $10 million or more will see a potential tax hike of 50% or more, according to their analysis. Those hikes, they say, will cause an exodus of residents to move to lower or no income tax states. So the states that you mentioned that don't have an income tax.
Yeah, I've got a friend I was just having lunch with today, and he makes money on the internet, right? He's one of these guys that he advises people on their marketing and social media and stuff like that. And he makes good money, and he deserves it. He provides a great service. But he could have picked any place in the United States or in the world to live had he wanted to. The place he chose, and by the way, he didn't sign the Free State Project statement of intent. He came here part of the great freedom migration, but he just decided on New Hampshire because it fit his lifestyle and what he was looking for. And that includes no income tax.
Laffer and Moore continued, in years to come, millions of people, thousands of businesses, and tens of billions of dollars of net income will flee high-tax blue states for low-tax red states. They say 800,000 people will move from California and New York over the next 3 years. Connecticut, New Jersey, and Minnesota, they're estimated to lose 500,000 people over the same time period. Yet, economist and sociologist Cristobal Young of Stanford, who co-authored the leading study on wealth and tax migration, calls the forecast, quote, pure nonsense. He says that California, New York, and New Jersey have been high-tax states for decades, and they still have the highest per capita concentration of the wealthy in the country. Continues.
That may be true. You can have, you can lose, it's possible to lose a large number of wealthy people and still have the highest concentration. That doesn't make the statement nonsense.
The highest per capita concentration.
It's still possible.
Yes.
And, just because wealthy people may want to live, there's wealthy people who are Democrats, wealthy people who are Republicans, wealthy people who like taxes, wealthy people who don't.
Right. And you previously mentioned Michael Jordan, who, for people that might not be familiar, was a basketball player 20-some-odd years ago.
God, he's got to be one of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. I mean, you'd think people would know him, but then again, there were kids
He's not been in the news in a long time.
There were kids that thought that P. Diddy really gave Paul McCartney a chance at a music career. So
and people that didn't know who Beck was when he won some award a couple years ago.
855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Broadcasting to over 1,000 radio stations, GCN programming is in all of the largest markets. A GCN advertising career could be the business opportunity you've been waiting for. Companies need hardworking representatives just like you to handle their needs, while you earn residual income which can last for years. Companies are buying and they need you. Email advertise@gcnlive.com or call 877-996-4327. That's 877-996-4327.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
The number is 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. And we're talking about, apparently, a pretty large mass exodus from high-tax state to low-tax state. Now, there's some dispute over it, but it sounds like... I don't think it takes much of a genius to figure it out. People are moving from California, New York, and many of the high-tax states to many of the low-tax states. And it seems obvious that that's what's happening, but some dispute it, whatever the case may be. I want to tell you about the AMP program here at Free Talk Live. We have a little Mouseketeer Club where you can join, and we've got some benefits for you. We've got a special chat room, got a Facebook page, call-in lines, whatever it might be. Lots of benefits, but really what it comes down to is if you believe, like we do, that the ideas of liberty are important, that people need to hear them, no matter if you agree with us on 100% of the issues. That if you think that the ideas of liberty generally are a good idea, if you think that Free Talk Live is doing a better job of purporting those ideas of liberty than any other show that's currently on the radio, then I would recommend you join the AMP program over at amp.freetalklive.com. $5 a month. You're not going to miss that kind of number. Yes, I know it shows up on the credit card and it's a line item and everything, but honestly, $5 a month is change when it comes to a daily amount. And
that's
we produce
cheaper than like a Frappy Mocha Latte Chino with pumpkin spice.
Yeah, that's one time. That's a one-time payment. However, if you look at like the hours of content that we produce and how much you're giving per hour, it's a pittance. And people like Paul Gibbons has been a gold amplifier for many years, and it's because he believes in the ideas of liberty. Paul's a great guy. I love him. Met him at many events. Wonderful guy, and love to have you as an amplifier and meet you at events too, frankly. It's amp.freetalklive.com. Darryl, you were talking about Michael Jordan and trying to tie that into
Right. So you had mentioned Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And
I'm happy to mention him. I think he's one of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. There's Jim Thorpe. It comes to mind too.
Right. So what I was going to the point I was trying to make is that, professional athletes tend to make large amounts of money.
Yeah.
And which states have a good number of professional sports teams? California, New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, they do.
So
I don't know. I can't think of New Jersey Devils, but I can't think of any other team that they've got.
They've got the basketball team.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Nets.
Okay.
There's also 2 football teams that play in New Jersey, but are called New York.
I see.
And, there are some players that might play for a New York team, but live across the river in New Jersey for various reasons. But those 3 states have a lot of, and as it mentioned, the, quote, highest per capita concentration of rich people.
Right. If you happen...
and professional athletes definitely tie into...
If you play for one of those teams, you're pretty much going to have to live in that tri-state area. You got to live in Jersey, New York, or Connecticut if you want to get to the games. I mean, on a reasonable amount of time.
Could also live in Philly.
It's a long...
Philly's not that far from New York.
I wouldn't want to make that commute daily. I don't know where they practice, I guess. I presume they practice in their stadiums, but I don't know.
Generally, when they have home games, and then they also travel a large amount of time. So, it's one of those things to where, you could commute for an hour.
Some people have...
I know a lot of people that commute for an hour.
Yeah, some people have the majority of their time is spent, away from wherever they play. A lot of these athletes...
Right, they'll have a primary residence and then like a secondary house.
Yep.
Or whatever. Continuing on, again, this Cristobal Young of Stanford, who is saying that 1.3 million people estimated to move from California, New York, New Jersey, and Minnesota and Connecticut over the next 3 years. It's hogwash. He says, quote, there's no correlation between the top state tax rate and the number or rate of millionaires in a state, adding that the people most affected by tax rates are, quote, late career working rich, and they are less likely to move because they are embedded in place for a host of social and economic reasons.
Yeah.
From the location of their companies and jobs to their social lives, charitable boards, and their customers.
Well, that's probably true, but if you happen to be somebody who makes a great deal of money and you can move, do you think it's likely that they will move? I mean, if you're a New York socialite or you love, L.A., Hollywood lifestyle or whatever, right. I don't know.
There are people that do.
They do, yeah. I mean, and that's totally worth it to them. But it's not worth it to me. I think of Rick Schroeder, who was Silver Spoons in The Last Battalion, and he's got like a ranch in Wyoming. He'll go to work every once in a while if somebody wants him. He's a great actor. He's an incredible actor. Watch The Last Battalion, by the way.
Never heard of it.
It's the story. I hope I have the name right. It's off the top of my head. It's the story of the World War I battalion that got lost in the Argonne Forest.
Okay.
And they were cut off from, and it took like 3 days. They were still continued to fight, and he got a Medal of Honor. The Weatherby, I think, was the lieutenant that he played, got a Medal of Honor, and finally committed suicide because one presumed PTSD got to him.
Right.
Or whatever.
Moore and Laffer, again, the people that wrote the op-ed that ran in the New York Times that is being cited here, say that 3.5 million Americans on net have moved from the highest tax states to the lowest tax states. They add that high earners...
I heard Paul Krugman address this, and he said air conditioning is the reason.
They don't have air conditioning in California?
No, his reason that the people were moving was because now that air conditioning is cheaper than heat, and it is, that it's easier to live in places like Florida and the South and Texas than places like New York and the Midwest, the Upper Midwest, and things like that. And of course, it doesn't address California at all.
Right.
And Moore brought that up.
They added that high earners are the ones who have cost the state the most by leaving. Yet they fail to mention that very few of those 3.5 million were, quote, high earners. What's more, according to CNBC, is the number of millionaires in those high-tax states is growing, not shrinking. Since 2010, New Jersey has added 46,000 net new millionaires for a current total of 258,000, according to the latest data. New York has added 84,000 new millionaires for a total of 465,000, and California has added 169,000 new millionaires since 2010, bringing the total there to 885,000. In all of these high-tax states, the broader populations have increased as well.
So I would say that first off, Lawfer and Moore are addressing income here, and these guys are addressing net worth.
Correct.
And there's a difference between income and net worth.
Yes.
And I don't know, I hate apples and oranges comparisons.
Right, but it's the same sort of thing when somebody will talk about how the debt is $21 trillion. Well, I have a plan to cut the deficit in half.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
Yeah, the deficit is, how much is being added to the debt. The debt is how much is owed.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the games that people like that play. It seems obvious to me that people are moving to Texas and Florida. Florida recently eclipsed New York as the third most populous state in the union, I believe. That's a pretty big deal, and it's not because the rednecks are having babies in Florida. They are, but that's not the reason. The reason is because people are leaving places like Ohio, Indiana, Chicago,
right,
Illinois.
The article here continues. That's not to say that rich people haven't left those states. They have. High-profile immigrants like David Tepper have left New Jersey for Florida, which give outsized publicity to the moves. Yet the high-tax states are also creating the most wealth and more new millionaires than the number who are leaving.
Yeah, it's big money New York, right?
It's unclear that taxes are the chief reason for people moving from the Northeast to Florida.
Sure, it's unclear. How could it possibly be clear? When the last time you moved
exit polling.
What? Right. The last time you moved from one state to another, did anyone ask you why you moved?
No.
Right.
Because there aren't exit polls for why you left a state.
Even so, if there was an exit poll, people don't always give the reasons that are true for them.
Right.
Like, I could say that I moved to New Hampshire for a job, Free Talk Live. Or I could say that I moved for the Great Freedom Migration because New Hampshire's freer than Florida, but it's not now, according to the Cato Institute. Anyway, 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Let's talk tough. Let's talk comfort. Let's talk about down-home value. Made in the USA blue jeans, like you wore as a kid. Remember?
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
For good old-fashioned comfort, get Diamond Gusset jeans. Every stitch guaranteed. And our Defender motorcycle jean comes Kevlar reinforced. See them at GUSSET.com, that's gusset.com, or call 888-848-7738. That's 888-848-7738. Diamond Gusset jeans got it, others don't.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for the weekend of September 29th and 30th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.65 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,192 per ounce. Zen is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,568. Antiwar.com reports conflicting reports emerged on Friday about negotiations between the Taliban and Afghan governments earlier in the week. Anonymous Taliban officials were quoted as saying such talks took place and ended with an agreement for a prisoner exchange. Indeed, one official suggested that some Taliban had already been released since the talks. Yet, the official Taliban spokesman issued a contrary statement insisting that no such talks ever happened. They also reported that planned talks with the U.S. fell through at the last minute for certain reasons. The Taliban-Afghan talks had been reported to be planned before, with the talks expected, as since reported, as the Afghan government wanted security guarantees for the October election and wanted detained Taliban members freed in return. With conflicting statements and the Afghan government refusing comment, there is no way of knowing whether the talks actually happened or if a deal was struck. Reports of detainees being released are similarly impossible to confirm since the Taliban never made the list of sought releases public. Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports a Facebook feature that allows users to view their profile the way others would see it allowed hackers potential access to millions of accounts, according to the company on Friday. Guy Rosen, Facebook Vice President of Product Management, says the social network discovered the bug on Tuesday and that it affected as many as 50 million users. Rosen said in a Facebook blog post on Friday, it's clear that attackers exploited a vulnerability in Facebook's code that impacted View As, a feature that lets people see what their own profile looks like to someone else. This allowed them to steal Facebook access tokens, which they could then use to take over people's accounts. Tokens allow users to remain logged into Facebook so they don't have to keep re-entering their passwords every time they want access. Rosen said Facebook is in the early stages of investigation and has not yet determined whether any accounts were misused or if any information was accessed. He said, "We don't know who's behind these attacks or where they're based. We're working hard to better understand these details, and we will update this post when we have more information or if the facts change." Facebook said it fixed the flaw and notified law enforcement of the hacking. The company also has reset access tokens for the affected accounts and another 40 million accounts that have used the View As feature in the past year. All 90 million of those accounts must log back into Facebook, where they will see a notification explaining the incident. The company also said it is temporarily disabling the View As feature until it conducts a security review. Facebook said there is no need for users to change their passwords. FPP Radio News is brought to you by the Doublespeak Dictionary. The Doublespeak Dictionary by Leslie Starr O'Hara satirizes the marked difference between the ideal of we the people and the reality of we the elite, while offering an insightful glimpse into the clockworks of the totalitarian mind. Ever irreverent but never irrelevant, the Doublespeak Dictionary serves as a subversive and humorous but timely reminder that the emperor has no clothes. The Doublespeak Dictionary is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports Walgreens will pay $34.5 million to settle charges that it misled investors about the increased risk that it would miss a key financial goal related to its merger in 2012, according to a top U.S. security regulator on Friday. The Securities and Exchange Commission said it had also charged former Chief Executive Officer Gregory Wasson and former finance head Wade McAlone, who agreed to each pay $160,000 in penalties. Walgreens said in a statement the settlement does not involve any current officers or executives, nor does it allege that anyone acted intentionally or recklessly at any time. The drugstore chain says it neither admits nor denies the SEC's allegations that the firm and its former top executives acted negligently. The SEC said both executives also consented to the order without admitting or denying their findings. Wasson and McAlone did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Reuters. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll never stop feeling like this.
Everyone can smell the marijuana on your breath and on your clothes. Everyone is laughing at you.
Additionally, the in-depth report reveals that despite trying to act cool, you're definitely laughing too much and everyone is messing with you.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high. If you're young and you smoke marijuana, you will probably never be able to find a job. And if you're an adult, you will most likely be fired. If you hear a noise, that's probably the police, and you're probably going to jail.
While previous studies suggested that it's all good and that we're all made of the same stuff that makes stars, new research indicates that your brain got broken and you shouldn't have done this. Doctors say the study raises important questions such as, what if that wasn't just marijuana and how are you going to get home?
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition, kicking off the third hour. It's Mark with you.
And Darryl.
You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. We've been kind of, bounced around a little bit this show. We were talking about, who wasn't talking about the Kavanaugh thing this week? Also, people fleeing from high-tax states to low-tax ones, and whatever else you call in about here on Free Talk Live, the live Sunday edition. Darryl, I don't want to miss out on the rest of this article, but we do have some calls coming in. I got Jackie calling in from Virginia. Jackie, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello, this is Jackie. I know you guys have moved on to a different topic. But
it's Free Talk Live, Jackie. You can call in about anything you want.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to call about the stat Darryl quoted earlier that only 2 in 1,000 rape allegations are false. To let you know that you're actually off by an order of magnitude. That 2 in 1,000 stat was made up, as far as anyone can tell, back in the 70s. There's no actual evidence of that. There's been several meta-studies done since then from various police reports, and the actual rate is 2% to 7%. And I can send you some links if you like. And so whatever articles you're reading that are quoting 2 in 1,000, you should probably start reading articles somewhere else because they're obviously not employing fact checkers.
So I have, I've had the pleasure of being involved in a situation where a woman falsely accused a man, or at least that was his claim, and the charge didn't really go anywhere. Like, she was incredibly intoxicated, kind of running down the street. The cops finally, she's picked up by a couple of gals who take her to the police station. She makes an accusation. The cops don't really listen, and then she never goes back and makes the accusation again. She ends up actually back with him, and he forgives her for this because, well, no harm, no foul, I guess. And then ultimately they end up breaking up in the future. And so I'm going to presume, since she didn't follow through and he says that it was false, that it was therefore false, and the ramblings of somebody who is incredibly intoxicated. I've also seen another instance where this happened to somebody, and so I'm wondering how many accusations don't actually, in this case, the latter case, it wasn't actually reported to the police. But these kind of accusations are so ugly that it doesn't actually have to make it to the police in order to be damaging in your personal life. And this Blasey Ford situation, the first time it's making it to the police is 37 years later. So, and that's the police or the FBI, which really wouldn't have been the ones who investigated it in the first place. So I'm kind of wondering this 2 to 7% number that you're mentioning, exactly where in the process of something being reported is this number come into play, Jackie?
This is reports to the police that are then found to be false.
Okay.
Because to do academic research on something, you need actual data.
Right. Okay.
And so they have to go off the data they get from police departments. Some of the stuff, like one of the lower numbers, actually, the 2% range actually comes from Australia.
Okay.
I think the 7% in comes from meta-studies done in the U.S. The problem with that is, of course, different police departments are going to have a different level of diligence in what they count, whether they report it.
A lot of reports never go past the report stage, right? Police departments just say, "Thanks for the report," and that's it. Like we've lost your rape kit. Sorry, or the rape kit goes and isn't processed 24 months later because they have, I don't know, marijuana kits to process or something.
Yes, I mean, keep in mind, most of us don't even bother reporting our rapes because there's no evidence. Like unless there was enough violence to cause physical damage. Most rapes are with acquaintances, and so you can't really prove it. So you have to think of the ones that get reported. Usually women are feeling a little more confident that they can prove it. But yes, also of people who are going to make a false accusation with the intent of ruining someone's life, they're also going to be more likely to go to the police because what's the point? Like if you're trying to wreck someone's life, you're going to actually follow through on that.
Right. I mean, I had a couple of situations where, attempted rapes, probably on the level of this Blasey Ford situation, if you're going to use that term. There was sort of intent, but not a great deal of intent. Prison's a rough place, right? And in neither case did I bother trying to find law enforcement to tell them about it because it's going to be absolutely a he said situation in that circumstance. It's going to just be like, oh, he said mean things to me and he like grabbed me in my parts, right? And that's that. Toughen up, son.
Yeah, so,
it's prison.
The point is false rape accusations do exist. We should look at what real statistics we have, as incomplete as they are, and not throw around that 2 in 1,000 stat, because while I definitely think actual rape is a much, much bigger problem than false rape accusations,
sure,
throwing out BS stats does not, lying and misrepresenting reality does not help your argument. It just undermines your credibility.
Let me ask you this, Jackie, since you called in on this, and I think, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anywhere that says 2 in 1,000, get a better source.
So since you called in on this subject, and we asked in the first hour, regarding Kavanaugh, if the accusations are so, and I'm not saying that you're making that as those accusations, and I'm not making those accusations, but if those accusations are so, do you feel that that simple fact disqualifies him for the Supreme Court nomination?
If they were true, he admitted to it and apologized, it would not. If they were true and he's continuing to deny it, then it does.
Interesting.
It's the lying and the refusal to take responsibility that would disqualify him.
Do you think
not what he did when he was 17?
I really think this is an incredibly mature opinion. But I'm asking you this. Do you think America's ready for a mature opinion on this? If he admitted it, said he was sorry, and said that, it was youthful indiscretion, I probably had too much alcohol, but that's not an excuse. I shouldn't have done this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look her right in the eye and say, I'm sorry. I hope you see that my life, I've changed it, and that I'm living as though I regret what happened. If he said that, do you think that America would forgive him?
I don't know, but I'd like to find out. I'd like to see somebody actually step up and take responsibility. And I guess an example, we can look at what long-term is going to happen to Louis C.K. Like, he admitted that he did scummy things. He's kind of on the outs right now. If he comes back and has a full career, then we'll show, like, hey, somebody's saying I absolutely shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, and I'm going to go think about it and do better. We'll see if that works or if they're just a pariah for the rest of their life.
I kind of think that Louis C.K. is a different story because he's an entertainer, and many of the things that he did were just edgy, right? I mean, not that they aren't yucky, but they're edgy and yucky at the same time, you know. And he's an edgy comedian. Comedians have to be edgy. It's different.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's so rare for anybody who's a politician or celebrity to actually admit to wrongdoing and take responsibility.
Al Franken did, but then he steps down. Rather than letting the people of Wisconsin or Minnesota decide whether or not he's qualified to hold the seat in the future, he just goes away as though going away is a solution to the problem. You know, I said a terrible thing to a woman and maybe he touched her. I'm not sure. I can't remember. There's so many stories.
There were groping.
Okay, there's groping. Fine. Whatever the situation was, you know, and I'm sorry, and I misbehaved. He did all those things, but then he stepped down, and apparently, you know, that's enough. So, Jackie, thank you so much.
I don't know. I mean, we're at a point where, you know, the pendulum's probably, you know, swung to the part where we are turning people into lifetime pariahs that shouldn't be, and I'm hoping it'll come back a little bit. But the problem is with so many people still denying or acting entitled or acting like it's not wrong, people are too mad to consider individual situations in which people do admit responsibility and apologize. And I think we'll eventually get there, but we're still kind of in the rage storm right now where people are finally being held accountable and, you know, the public isn't really ready to grasp nuances yet.
Thanks for the call, Jackie. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. That's 855-450-3733. Or the Discord, discord.freetalklive.com.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com. With just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agoristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agorist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agoristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agoristhosting.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live's Live Sunday edition with Mark
and Darryl.
The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Well, we've been talking about Kavanaugh, and we've been talking about people fleeing high-tax states for low-tax ones. And you can call in about anything else that's on your mind here on Free Talk Live. That's the point of it. That's what we do the show for. And we're going to go to your calls here in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about my Blink home security system. I love this thing. It's great. There's no muss, no fuss. You can set this baby up in about 10 minutes. It costs, I think, for their basic setup, less than $150. I can get you 15% off. So it's easy, it's inexpensive, and it works. I know it works because I have it in my house. I get a notification.
And if you're technically inclined, it won't take you 15 minutes.
Right. Well, that's true. I didn't have any problems even if you're not technically inclined. I mean, at some point or another, you just have to go through the buffering or whatever it is, the setup that there is. Anyway, check them out. It's great. It's an Amazon company, works with your Alexa system, by the way. Bought by Amazon because... well, it's a great setup, and you can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys charge, plus an extra 15% off when you visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. You got to do that /FTL if you want the 15% off, but believe me, it's worth it. It's a great system, blinkprotect.com/FTL. You'll have to have internet and Wi-Fi at your place, but other than that, blinkprotect.com/FTL. It's a great deal. Let's go to Linda calling in from Colorado. Linda, you're on Free Talk Live.
How are you doing?
All's well. What's on your mind?
Good. Well, I wanted to talk a little more about the Kavanaugh and the rapes and stuff. And they keep saying that, it's not that many, like the lady said before me, or that the facts aren't right. Because there's at least 250 to 285,000 rape kits per year that don't ever even get
counted.
Sent.
Yeah, as I understand it, the likelihood of a rape kit actually going through and getting tested is lower than it not.
Yeah, and I mean that's where the evidence lies, and they sit on their laurels and not do a damn thing about it.
Yeah, it seems like police departments...
And then wonder why the women get pissed off.
Well, it seems like police departments around the country have a higher desire to convict people for drug crimes than they do for rapes. And I would say that if you asked people to list 3 or 4 crimes that they hope that their police departments are taking care of, they'd probably begin with murder. And I'll bet you the next one is rape.
Yep.
Robbery. Maybe arson, right? Like these are the things that are going to fly off people's heads. What they're not going to say is young people rolling around in cars with doobies.
Yeah. And what's so darn frustrating is even when you can ID the person, they're already a convicted felon for assault and rape, and damn near killed the last person that they had done it to. They won't even bother checking it out. Oh, it's his word against yours. Like, fine. Don't be surprised when somebody else, the women get fed up with it and start taking things in their own hands.
I'd say that I would guess that most women who carry for this particular reason, not because they're trying to protect the few hundred or few tens of or hundreds of dollars that are in their pocket, but because or their wallet or their pocket purse or the purse or whatever, right. But because it's themselves, their physical integrity that they're trying to protect.
Yes,
and the statistics are better and worse on guns as a form of protection, but I think that that's what they're doing it for.
Yeah, and the fact that all 3 of these women that have gone against Kavanaugh can't remember everything, or dates, or places, or times.
Well, 37 years ago, I'm not surprised that nobody...
The last one's a joke, because she ought to be arrested. If she was there 10 different times, she ought to be arrested for contributing to the delinquency of minors because she was an adult.
That's interesting.
A college student.
Yep.
And if it actually happened, she's an accessory.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't read into each of them. I have paid attention to the Blasey Ford one, but I haven't gone into the other cases until it comes before the Senate. I guess I haven't really paid that much attention. But thanks for the call, Linda. I really appreciate it.
Now, going back to the untested rape kits for a moment, just found a story, relatively fresh story out of California. Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill that would wind up requiring law enforcement agencies and labs to tell the State Department of Justice how many rape kits and evidence collected after sexual assaults that they have in their possession by July 1st of next year. So in some cases, they don't even know how many things they have just lying around.
They're giving them, by the sounds of it, like 9 months to count them. That's crazy.
Something like that, yeah.
I want to know by the end of next month. If you can't figure it out by the end of the next month, it just shows to me the incompetence and the lack of concern that you have about this important issue. I think Americans expect from their law enforcement agencies to protect them against, the big ones: rape, robbery, murder. Arson.
Property crimes.
Yeah. But
arson is a property crime.
It is a property crime. But if you had a choice and you were putting a police officer on a duty, would you prefer to put them on solving a murder or chasing down somebody's stolen bicycle?
Murder.
It stinks when you have your bicycle stolen, though, and I have. But the cops aren't going to do anything about that. You better have a lock.
Right, but stolen bicycle falls under burglary.
Is that a burglary? I would just call it a grand theft or something. Anyway, let's go to the phones real quick. We got this.
I don't know too many bicycles that are valued high enough to where it would qualify as grand theft.
Penguin 2.0, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, greetings, Your Majesty, Minister Darryl. Calling in about this topic you've been talking about.
Greetings, loyal subject.
Yeah, well, yes, and you've been talking about thing I wanted to call about. You've basically discussed how Kavanaugh is on the Fourth Amendment and different things. I believe I was kind of in and out on that portion of the show, but and something that another host said earlier in the week, basically that is it possible that the the Republicans are kind of letting this go as to like distract from Kavanaugh's record on the Fourth Amendment and on Patriot Act, stuff like that. Stuff that, I mean, is definitely on some people's minds.
Yeah, I think that was Conan that speculated that.
Yeah, it was Conan.
I don't know. I mean, they had already basically confirmed him when they came back to talk about this Blasey Ford thing. I mean, he was done. He was confirmed. I tend to think not, but because they just don't care about that.
Right.
They don't care about his Fourth Amendment record. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Ever wonder how Bitcoin and Ethereum were created? Vercel Media has helped hundreds of companies and individuals make their own cryptocurrency. Decentralized blockchain solutions are making the world more transparent and giving power back to the people. Vercel Media has helped companies raise tens of millions in the past year alone, structuring and marketing ICOs to the thirsty crypto public worldwide. Don't miss the cryptocurrency revolution. Visit vercelmedia.com, VERCEL media.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Sunday edition. Mark with you.
And Darryl.
The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Here on Free Talk Live. And we've been talking about, I guess in this hour, mostly rape statistics and rape kits and to some extent sort of related to this Kavanaugh case and that sort of thing. I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted chatted about when people brought up his name, but that's how it is now.
Well, as the manure salesman would say, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe that.
Right, that's why I say the manure salesman, because not only are you getting people to take your crap, you're getting them to give you money for it as well.
Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on a zero-knowledge technology platform with decentralized secure node architecture. What's that mean? It means it's pretty darn secure.
Yes.
The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond cryptocurrency. Mind you, I like the cryptocurrency, and I've invested the fund that I take care of in Zen to some extent. I'm excited to see them do well because I believe they're going to do well. But they also include the ability to privately chat with other people, and soon Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. That's a big deal. To be able to publish with complete privacy, that's something that's been relegated to the Tor network up to this point. Horizon pulls that off. It's a big deal. Bringing privacy to life, Horizon. Learn more at horizon.global. That's HORIZEN.global. Horizon.global. Let's go. Got another call here. Got David from New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes.
I hear music.
No, you don't.
No? Oh. Some things on the Kavanaugh thing.
I smell oranges.
That I haven't. Yes, you do smell oranges. I have them right here. And they have a new smell-o-vision thing that came out in, when did that come out?
Never.
Where did I get that? No, it was on TV like 30, 40 years ago. Smell-o-vision.
You were watching the Jetsons.
Yeah, sounds right.
Oh, there you go. Cool. A couple
Are you
on
on drugs?
Am I on drugs? Why do you ask?
Because your thoughts seem to be incredibly scattered.
I just told the man I smell oranges, which is a pretty obscure reference to brain cancer.
Let me give you a science lesson. When you challenge me like that, the way that I can concentrate is if I can juice up my adrenaline. And when a person, if you can work up your, this can be helpful for other people. If you can work up your anger a little bit, you get a little shot of adrenaline and it focuses your thoughts. It also makes you rougher and tougher and all that crap too.
Good. But so give us one of your thoughts.
To answer your question, Darryl, who likes to talk over everybody, I feel like crap. And that's why I'm not concentrating. And like your friend Ian said, when he doesn't sleep at night, he doesn't perform well the next day. And I didn't sleep well last night. I fell asleep about midnight and woke up at 3 a.m. and have been up ever since. All right. And you know what? It's only been this last couple of months that I can still count on my two hands, the complete normal, as defined by most people, what a normal night's sleep is. I can still count on two hands the normal night sleep that I've gotten in the last 11 years, Darryl. Anything else you want to know, Darryl?
What's on
you
your
said
mind?
that you had a thought. I'm trying to get you to express one of them, and it sounds like you did express one.
I got more than one damn
Yes,
thought,
I know
Darryl.
you have more than one thought, and you try to give us 5,000 of them. I'm trying to get you to focus to give us one.
I'm so sorry that I can track 5,000 thoughts at one time and you can only track one, Darryl.
No, I'm trying to have a good radio program, and that means having somebody give one thought and then try to have a back and forth on that one thought.
Before we argue about him not having a thought, David, instead of arguing with Darryl, which is not exciting, could you just tell me what you were thinking about?
All right, reset. Kavanaugh, I think there was 2 points that haven't been brought up.
Yeah.
Give us one.
Well, start with one.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Now you ruined my train of thought again. Let me juice up a shot of adrenaline so I can get back to where I was before Darryl shot himself in the foot by ruining his radio program by talking over somebody. So
Your
here,
call
you know
is ruining this radio program, David.
Come on.
No, your radio program was ruined many, many years ago, and it wasn't by me.
Darryl, David, what was the thought on Kavanaugh?
Yeah. Let me do it what Ian instructed everybody to do, and look over at, rather than going contemporaneous or whatever the word is, let me look at my notes. And right there in front of me is Mark, something that you said. You made a quote. This is excising it from the context. No proof beyond testimony in this case of
right.
Kavanaugh.
No evidence beyond testimony, but yes.
Yeah, I think you said proof.
Okay, I probably did. I probably said it multiple times, but I think of it as evidence. Testimony is evidence, but it's not really sufficient evidence. There's testimony that counteracts it.
Got it. Okay. I agree with that, but I want to go beyond that, and I wanted to add something that people are not necessarily aware of. The experience that I've had over these last 11 years in a courtroom, and Kavanaugh has not yet even arrived in a courtroom, even though
probably never will.
A judge. He probably never will. But I've been in a courtroom and know it wasn't criminal because nobody ever brought any criminal charges against me. It was in a civil courtroom where we were fighting over children. That's where my experience comes from. And in my experience, which can be verified by reading the court record in the state of New Mexico. So if anybody doubts anything I said, they can simply go, I'll give you the case number. You can simply go and read it for yourself. And as to your statement, no proof beyond testimony, in my case, I was deprived of life, liberty, property, pursuit of happiness, unalienable rights in the form of my children. There's nothing more valuable in your life than your children.
No doubt.
Including your.
But based on what, though? Was there any kind of evidence, or was it all just testimony?
I'm telling you, including one's own life. Generally, people put their children above their own life. There is nothing. So I was deprived of that. The highest thing you can be deprived of, including your life. And it was done without testimony. And further, it was done when I demanded in the formally accepted procedure in a courtroom by filing a written motion, actually multiple motions in writing, filed them through the clerk's office and put them in front of the judge, and then also motioned verbally, orally, in court, in open court, those same motion requests to this Judge Angela Jewell.
Is this because family court has, before you go on, is this because family court has different rules than criminal and civil court?
No.
Oh, no?
Okay. A court is a court is a court.
Well,
there are court rules. Court rules do vary. They do vary, but for in all practical intents and purposes, they do not vary. But so the proper short answer to your question is no. It's not because of a difference between children.
Let me ask another question. So it's my understanding that the criminal court, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt, whereas civil court has to proof basically is a preponderance of the evidence.
Yes.
And
no.
Okay.
Yes, in some cases, a preponderance of evidence. It depends upon and now I hear music.
Yeah, well, you got a whole segment. Thanks for the call, David. Appreciate it. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Your thoughts on the Kavanaugh situation or people moving from state to state based on tax rates or anything else. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try LicoChops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Your property and your family are precious. Protect them with Blink. Blink motion-activated HD cameras are wire-free, set up fast, and their batteries last up to 2 years. And Blink's live feed option lets you monitor what's happening in your home anytime, anywhere. No contracts, no subscriptions, and Blink works with Alexa. You can get 3 Blink cameras for way less than the other guys, plus an extra 15% off. Visit blinkprotect.com/FTL. blinkprotect.com/FTL. Blink is an Amazon company.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
People are saying it could be a baby bump. Our senior celebrity correspondent, Tyler, is here. Tyler, you always have the inside dish. What's the deal?
She looks like she got fat, so she might have a baby in her tummy.
Oh? What else have you heard?
I heard she has a boyfriend, and they have sex.
That's right. You know, the Hollywood couple vacationed in Rome together just 2 months ago.
They had a big hotel room, and I can tell you what they did in it.
Spill it, Tyler.
He put his penis in her vagina.
Hot. She is one lucky gal.
And she's going crazy.
Uh-oh, is stardom starting to wear on Emma?
Yeah, she's crazy and dumb. She put a carrot in her vagina.
Whoa, do tell.
Yeah, she said, oh, this carrot's like my boyfriend's penis. I'm gonna rub it all over my vagina. I'm so gross. Then she ate it like Bugs Bunny.
What a hot mess. Hey, Emma, get it together, girl. Tyler, you are breaking news as always.
This is the Onion News Network.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, the final segment. We could potentially squeeze you in here on Free Talk Live. Also, I'll give you the number. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, or on Discord at discord.freetalklive.com. If you haven't done the Discord thing yet, if you go to discord.freetalklive.com, it'll give you the opportunity to either open up Discord in a browser or to download the app. If you download the app, say on your phone or something, then you will be able to call in through using Discord. You can't call in if you just have it on the browser.
Correct.
If you call in on your phone, it will, still use the same microphone in your phone, but it will make the audio quality significantly better. If you call in from, say, a laptop and you use headphones and a microphone, your call quality will be superb. If you don't use headphones, at the very least, there could be some feedback or whatever.
There will be feedback.
Talkback. I've heard people manage to pull it off, but I wouldn't try it.
Nor would I.
So discord.freetalklive.com. From reason.com, a Florida man.
Hashtag Florida man.
Hashtag Florida man stole $600 worth of cigarettes from a convenience store in Pensacola, Florida. As a result, he'll spend the next 2 decades behind bars.
Now, on its face, this just sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
That $600 worth of stolen product equals 20 years in prison.
Yep. I knew exactly when I read it what happened. Florida has a pretty stiff habitual offender law.
Oh, I was fairly certain when I first saw it, and then, started reading Florida man arrested. Oh, I wonder if it's one of these 3 strikes, because I know that there are some states that have a 3 strikes law.
Yep.
And there was a guy in, I think it was California, right after their 3 strikes law went into effect. He stole 3 DVDs from, like some DVD rental place that still existed at the time. And because each of those was charged as a separate offense, he wound up getting hit with life in prison.
Yeah, that's nuts.
No priors, but they, 1 count of stealing Disney's Aladdin, or whatever the movie was. 1 count of stealing this movie. 1 count of stealing this. Those are 3 charges. 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, that's bananas, obviously. In this case, the guy's been convicted multiple times, multiple different situations. This is basically what the habitual offender statute was put together for. The intent was to get people like this. 2 decades for stealing some cigarettes may seem harsh, but it's unsurprising for Florida. Under state law, repeat offenders get longer prison sentences. If they have prior felony convictions, Spellman's criminal past includes convictions for 14 felonies, 31 misdemeanors, and in Florida, stealing $300 worth of property is enough for a veteran. A warrant. I've got something in my eye here. A warrant conviction for grand theft.
I always
a veteran
thought,
criminal.
I always thought that grand theft was something over like $1,000.
It depends, but the problem is that they picked this number. I mean, grand theft was $300 when I was in prison in the mid-90s. So $300 is worth far less now than it was.
Right.
And, I mean, it should go up over time. Like grand theft should change over time. If the grand theft laws were written in 1910 and they were written for anything over $10, obviously we would think that was insane. That's not grand theft.
Right, and isn't there something in the U.S. Constitution about the right to certain types of trial if the value is over $20?
$20, yeah. And that's another problem with writing things down. It's just that everything's over $20 now. You wouldn't take somebody to court for anything less. It would be insane. But let's take it on its premise. Let's understand that this guy has had multiple convictions, multiple different separate times. He's a career criminal. The guy's got gray hair. He's old. Right. He's not going to change his ways. My question would be, A, do you think it's ever appropriate to give somebody 20 years for $600 worth of stolen cigarettes? And B, if they didn't do it, don't you think it's likely this guy would commit another crime and do something? Is there any point? I mean, like if he keeps on every time he gets out, he goes back and steals $600 worth of cigarettes. At some point, is it acceptable to throw him in prison for 20 years? I don't know.
So here's the thing. The current judicial system that we have does not at all take restitution into consideration for offenses like this.
Yep.
You should steal $600 worth of cigarettes from the corner store. Not only should you have to, return those $600 worth of cigarettes.
Or pay for them.
Or pay, but then you should give something on top of
a punitive damage
to compensate for the time that the store was without product.
Plus, there should be, I think there should be a criminal act punitive damage amount awarded. And I think that anything that was damaged in the process of stealing. So maybe he, breaks some lock on something, and obviously that has to be fixed.
You replace the lock.
The problem is...
Or the entire door, depending on how much damage wound up being done.
There are some folks that will just not pay back what they owe. They're just not going to pay. Should you throw him in jail and then charge for his time and, whatever he makes, then send it to the convenience store? I was in prison in Florida, and I was one of, I think, 7 or 8 inmates on 1,200 people were on the compound.
All right.
And 7 of them made money.
All right.
So I made a whopping $75 a month.
Woo!
Working as the
you could buy some ramen noodles and a bag of chips.
Yeah, it was pretty good. As the staff canteen operator. That doesn't say anything about the black market dealings that I participated in.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, whatever. Yeah, I'll tell you. I sold some cigars that were not available on the compound, and I made a lot of money doing it.
Allegedly.
Whatever. And I can't remember where I was going with the story. Oh, I was making $75 in a month. That's not much. I can't imagine how long it would take him to pay off these $600, and I don't know what they're making, if they're making anything in Florida. Some states don't pay.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Florida, Louisiana, these places aren't giving you money. So how's he ever going to pay that off? We don't have a system that makes it make sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it seems like a good idea to throw somebody in prison for stealing $600 worth of cigarettes, but at some point or another, you got to do something about career criminals. This revolving door thing is pretty frustrating. However, a good friend of mine, a man that I would have called my best friend at one point, is in prison in South Carolina. And he's a habitual offender in both South Carolina and Florida. And every time he does something stupid, he goes back. And he goes back for a long time.
Right. And there are some people that do what is referred to as life on the installment plan.
Yeah, that's
which is what you were
talking
about, of commit some kind of petty crime, go in 6 months, 2 years, whatever. When I was a corrections officer, there was a guy about this time of year that showed up and, just happened to be chatting with him. And he goes, oh, yeah, I stole a car, get 6 months. When I get out, I'll live on the streets. Once it starts getting cold again, I'll do something that I know gets me 6 months. And then I've got a house for the winter.
Yeah. Well, I tend to think most people don't want to go to prison, although there are some that do, like the story that you're telling. And I've heard stories like that myself.
Right. There's not very many people that want to be homeless in a place where it snows in the wintertime.
Yeah. I don't think overtly that they claim that they want to do this. I would say that you're talking about, certainly less than 5%, probably less than 1% of people are doing that. However, there are people that just can't seem to get their damn lives together.
Right.
And those people seem to think that stupid petty crimes make sense. Obviously, what makes the most sense is just don't commit a crime when you get out of prison. Just don't commit any.
Right. But the funniest story is one night I was working in the control center for the work release area. This guy was supposed to have come in, didn't show up, so I do what I'm told and call my supervisor. He says, give him 20 minutes. Give him 20 more minutes. Give him 20 more minutes. All right, come write
absconding,
escaped inmate.
He's not escaped.
Report. Technically, he was.
Okay.
So wrote that up. They found him a week later at a crack house 7 miles away.
Yeah.
Where I was working, there was an interstate going east-west. 1 hour away, you're in Pittsburgh. Or you're past Pittsburgh into Ohio. An hour south, you're in West Virginia. This guy goes 7 miles to a crack house.
Yeah, he could have made better choices.
Not very smart.
Well, there are some smart choices, and they're on the internet at freetalklive.com. Check us out. It's freetalklive.com.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
We've all